But like I said, John Travolta's always been around. Even just before Pulp Fiction, he was in what were those movies called? Those talking baby movies. Look Who's Talking. Remember those movies?
You sure?
Yeah,
Sure.
not great. Not
Nope.
great.
Not great.
um, um, but there was clearly a new era that was born for John Travolta really because of Pulp Fiction. And he had a
Yeah.
very specific career in the 90s because of that movie. Not everything in the 90s was necessarily great. He was in a lot of wonky movies, but you can't deny that the power of that one unique performance and one man taking notice of him and tapping into something that hasn't really been seen from this man before, I think makes it one of the most obvious comebacks of all time for an actor. So yeah, John Travolta is my at this point right now my number 5 pick.
Yeah, this is a great pick. This was a solid honorable mention for me. I almost went with this one for all those reasons.
Hmm.
It's one that's been pretty heavily talked about over the years, but for good reason. I mean, this
Yeah.
is an actor that was so heavily in the culture throughout the 70s, then disappears quite heavily into the 80s and has this massive comeback with Pulp Fiction, which lands him an Oscar nomination. And then he
Hmm.
has all those great roles in the 90s that we remember as a
Yeah.
result.
Yeah.
You never get a face off without Pulp Fiction. And
What a great movie that is. Oh
and
my
it's so
gosh.
good.
I love it
I
so much.
can't fathom the like that career of John Travolta through the late 90s and early 2000s. It's a reminder that he is still a great actor. He
Yeah.
might have lost his way a little bit. Maybe he made some bad choices, had a terrible agent. I don't know what the circumstances were that led to him
Hmm.
disappearing, but grateful to
You know,
Tarantino for
yeah.
bringing him back.